Experience lightning-fast loading screens with the best M.2 SSD for gaming. This reliable upgrade enhances your day-to-day PC usage, as not only does an M.2 NVMe SSD provide a much faster overall experience than other types of drive, but it's also one of the most affordable upgrades you can make for your PC. The best M.2 SSD for gaming on the market is the WD Black SN850X. It comes with a great blend of performance and affordability that's great for PC gaming. However, when it comes to affordability, we're also big fans of the supremely good value and surprisingly fast Lexar NM790, which makes our top recommendation for the best budget M.2 SSD. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top 5 best M.2 SSDs for gaming and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you, and as always, you can check pricing for any of these products in the description below. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's get started. Number 5. Silicon Power XS72TB SSD, the best PS5 NVMe SSD. While the PlayStation 5 does make use of a rather snazzy Gen 4 drive, there will be many of you hoping to fit your console with something larger, to fit as many games as possible onto your shiny console machine of dreams. That being the case, we recommend the Silicon Power 2TB XS70 as our top pick for the best PS5 NVMe SSD. For a start, it's a superb performer. Thanks to some Micron 176-layer TLC NAND and a controller that needs a little introduction, the Phison E18, alongside 2GB of DDR4 RAM, the XS70 makes for a potent drive in any setup with the appropriate M.2 slot. 7,300 MBIOS sequential reads and 6,800 MBIOS writes puts it well up there with some of the faster drives we've tested, along with some excellent random read performance. Its small packaging reminds us of a flash drive, but when it comes to what this drive is capable of delivering, then a simple USB stick, this is not. Those of you planning on installing one in a PC may bemoan the lack of software support ecosystem, but console users will care not one jot. You'll simply want a very fast drive in the right form factor that you can set, forget, and use on the regular to keep your PlayStation stocked with games, and here Silicon Power has really judged the market very well indeed. It's not big, but it is clever, and if you really want to make the most of your console experience by installing a very fast drive designed to sit right at the heart of your PS5 without a single complaint, then this right here is the SSD for you. Number 4. Lexar Play 2230. The best Steam Deck 2230 NVMe SSD. A year ago, Lexar was practically unheard of, but these days it's very competitive in the world of SSDs, thanks to lots of fast, spacious models, all with good prices. This 1TB 2230 SSD is one such example, and this is why the Lexar Play 2230 is the best SSD for Steam Deck. Surprisingly, Lexar isn't using slow components to keep the price down. Micron TLC NAND flash memory and a Silicon Motion SM2269XT controller are good quality and very speedy. In testing, we found that Lexar's performance claims were 100% accurate, and while sequential read-all-writes of 5,400 and 4,700 Mauritzer Embraers aren't cutting edge, they're more than fast enough for any handheld PC. The Lexar Play also has a large SLC cache, the portion of the flash memory that acts as a buffer for data, around 240 GB in size. What that means is it will transfer at 4,700 MB until that amount of data has been written, before dropping in performance to around half that rate, perfect for rapid game installations. There's only one downside to the Lexar Play 2230, and that's the storage capacity. There's only a 1 TB model on offer, and there's plenty of competition with larger capacities, such as our previous recommendation for Steam Deck, the Sabrent Rocket 2230. Hopefully, Lexar will address this in the near future. Fortunately, 1 TB is still plenty enough storage for most PC gamers on the go. Add in the boost in performance for relatively little money, and you've got the perfect SSD upgrade for your Steam Deck. Number 3. Nextorage NEMPA. The best high-capacity NVMe SSD. Looking for lots and lots of storage, with no compromises on performance, and for a great price. You'd struggle to do better than this Nextorage drive, which comes in a variety of well-priced high-capacity specifications, making it an easy pick for the best high-capacity NVMe drive in this list. If you're unfamiliar with the name, we don't really blame you. In a market dominated by big players with heavy brand recognition, Nextorage is still the new kid on the block. Although, make no mistake, it still comes with a pedigree you might not expect. SSD prices have been on the rise recently, but we still regularly see these capacious drives at prices that make you do a double take. That makes them a fantastic way of adding huge amounts of lightning-fast storage capacity to your machine without breaking the bank. You'll find variants using very substantial heat sinks, and some with none at all. But if you've got room for it in your machine, we're happy to report that the heatsink version runs remarkably cool. Still, if you're looking for something more compact, then the heatsinkless models should still run plenty cool, which means they'll be delivering great performance even in a laptop configuration. Big storage, big performance, very competitive prices. Yep, Next to Reach may not have made a name for itself just yet, but with this sort of hardware, it really won't be long. Number 2. Lexar NM790. The best budget NVMe SSD. Cheap and cheerful? How about cheap and still delivering excellent performance? The Lexar NM790 is a fantastic SSD that makes very few compromises while still remaining very affordable. And that means it sits proudly as our top budget NVMe drive recommendation. If you're in the market for a budget NVMe SSD, chances are you've been working under the assumption that you'll have to take some performance penalties in order to save some cash. Not so with the Lexar NM790, as it delivers read and write speeds that any Gen 4 drive would be proud of. Rated at 7,400 MB sequential reads and 6,500 writes, this drive impressed us mightily when we reviewed the 4TB version, but you'll be pleased to find it comes in a range of capacities, including a very attractively priced 1TB model. But how come you can get all this performance and capacity for less? More than that, the Lexar makes for an efficient drive no matter which way you look at it. While there are heatsink models available, we tested the heatsink-free version and found that its thermal performance was admirable, which is no mean feat, so there's really no need to spend up unless you really want to make double sure that it'll deliver its full speeds without throttling. Every now and then a component arrives that, thanks to some clever lateral solutions, runs rings around a lot of the competition while delivering great performance for less cash. And that's exactly what we've got here. We regularly see 1 die-to-buy models retailing for around $80, and 2 T-Ballard models around the $130 marker. And that's a genuine bargain for such a performant SSD. Not only is it a budget champion, the mighty Lexar, but it can keep up with the big names without breaking a sweat. Number 1. WD Black SN850X. The best NVMe SSD. The regular SN850 was one of our favorite drives, but since the WD Black SN850X arrived, it took our top spot for the best NVMe SSD overall and has stayed there ever since. So what sets it apart from the pack? Well, while it might have some of the standard features of a regular Gen 4 NVMe drive, what with its 4 lanes of PCIe connectivity and the expected M.2 2280 form factor, it sports some shiny new additions to the board that add some serious performance credentials. WD's own controller has had some revisions, alongside an upgrade from 96-layer TLC NAND memory chips to newer 112-layer models. And if those sorts of specs make your eyes cross, have no fear, for we shall interpret them for you. It means performance. Lots and lots of it. The 128 model delivers read speeds of 6,300 MB and write speeds of 7,300 MB. That's plenty fast, and while it puts it in contention with some of the very fastest Gen 4 drives we've tested, they are slightly faster. 2 things on that point. Firstly, when it comes to small differences in synthetic SSD benchmarks, you're absolutely not going to be able to tell the difference in real-world drive usage. And 2, the WD Black SN850X has been around for a little while now and goes on discount on the regular. You might have to wait around a bit to find the best deal, but they are out there and all the sweeter for it. Any drawbacks? Well, the 4K random access results weren't stellar, although you'd only really see that on the benchmarks. It's real-world performance you're likely to care about most, and here the SN850X performed brilliantly. It's an all-round performer and a completely solid overall choice for anyone looking for an NVMe SSD that hits all the right notes. Cool, efficient, and plenty fast. What more do you really need?